Hello and welcome back to another video of Rusty JDM. In today's video, I'm going to reveal a car to you guys. Now, let me start from earlier. Now, if you notice, most of my video that was shot, which is not many, but most of them were shot here in the driveway. I literally restored or partially restored the crown right here. So that's include painting the engine bay, stripping the chassis, painting the chassis, doing the conversion, and everything else was done here. And there was a few little project done in the garage out of the camera, but mostly was done here, which I hated it. And it's not fun working in the driveway and getting cars driving past, and obviously the weather. Living in Melbourne, if you know Melbourne, it's got a bad weather, changes every second. So the reason I work here, which like I said to you, I hated every second of that, was because my garage is always full. And this garage was built in the 80s, and it was a 2 cars garage, and I changed it to 4 cars. Yes, it's got 4 cars in it, it's full. Sometimes I can't even walk through it. So this is why I worked in the driveway. Now, in today's video, I'm going to reveal that car to you guys. That car has been sitting there since 2016. I only got to drive that car for 200 kilometers, and that was getting the compliance and I think replace the tires. The reason I parked that car there, it was because I started hearing a funny sound from the top end. And I didn't feel good about it, and I did not do the diagnosing. I just parked it there, wrapped it up, and it stayed there. And it's been 6-7 years, or maybe less. Yeah, around 6 to 7 years. Now, in today's video, I'm going to diagnose the problems, and I want to see what was wrong with the engine. And also, I'm going to change the strips around the door. So stay tuned. All right. You ready? Here you go. Well, obviously it's covered, and it's been sitting here for so long, for me so long, that sometimes I forget about it. I forget that I have that car. There was a time where, you know, I was putting so many things on the bonnet, on the car. There was a time, I'm not sure if you noticed in some of my videos, I literally used that car as a bench, and I'm not kidding. So let's see it. Alright, so here you have it. This is my 1993 R32 GTR V-Spec. So there's only 1300 and ish was built. I think this one is number 700 and ish or 900 and ish. I can't exactly remember. So the story about this car is, as you can see, it's really dusty. You can't see it on the camera, but it's been sitting here for a very, very long time. I'm gonna tell you the difference between this and a normal 32. I don't know everything about them. I just know a few bits and pieces that made this very special. Now, I'm gonna take you inside the car. She's very clean. She's almost untouched. Here you go. So here she's done 180 or 81. It's hard to see from the lights, but yeah. So the story about this car was, so I imported this car back in 2016 when they were more cheaper. So yeah, I drove it here and there just to get the work done on it. It was unregistered, and then I started hearing the ticking from the top end. I'm not sure if it's valve. I'm not sure if it's from the bottom end. I have no idea, but I'm gonna diagnose the problem today, and also I'm going to change these weather strips. So this is a common issue in all the R32s, so GTR and non-GTR. They still make this part. It's not cheap. I think you can buy both sides for around $1,400 to $1,500. I know it's not cheap, but if you can afford to buy it, I recommend you to replace it, because they still making them, and you know, once they stop making them, the prices will go higher. So I got my hand on 2 brand new ones. I'm going to replace those. That's the only thing I need to replace today, and then I'm going to diagnose the problem. Now, that's the story. Now, the difference between this and a normal R32 GTR. Well, let me get this car out of the garage, and then I'll explain to you guys. Alrighty, so a few days ago I did drain the fuel. It wasn't much in it. I remember when I parked it here, I made sure the tank was empty. Yeah, so I drained the fuel the other day. I put a few liters in it. I charged the battery. I did wind it. I didn't start it. I did wind it just to get the oil into the system. Just circulate the oil in the engine. It's better than just starting the engine right straight away, despite the engine being dry. There you go. Come on, there you go. It tells me I'm somewhere in Japan. That's nice. I have no idea how this works. I remember it had some sort of Eminem music. I think so. There you go.
Relax a little. I'm glad I inspire you to stand. Yeah. I know sometimes.
This actually came with the car, so I did not put those music in it, and it's in the memory. It's not in the. It's not a CD or anything else. How to open this one? This was actually really cool. Oh, here you go. Nice. You can put a memory card there as well. Well, I'm not sure if you can hear the ticking. I'm gonna take the car out of the garage, and then we start looking at the car. All right, so again, so it's a 1993 R32 GTR V-Spec. She's got this BBS or whatever they are. Yes, so BBS wheels, that's a factory option, 17/8, and the offset is 30. This is the only 32 that came with Brembo brakes, the same as the 33 GTR. So I'm going to tell you whatever I know about the car. If there is something that you know, you can let me know. So it's got a R33 GTR brakes. So the earlier the earlier 32s, they don't have Brembos. The V-Spec one do have them. So they 17-inch. Again, the early version have the 16-inch. Now I'm gonna show you around the car. So it's very, very original. You can see from the badge here, it's fading away. It has aftermarket exhaust. I don't know the brands. Here you have it. It's almost original. When I imported, I remember I was told even the Rio discs are original. Obviously, I think they meant they've been replaced, genuine parts, because you can see the background is still silver. What else do I know? It's got the Alpine old school speakers. Let me show you from inside. Okay, you go. She's very, very clean. Now the story about those V-Specs, look at that. Now in the early 90s when GTR, oh shame, when they imported the GTR 32s and compete the Bathurst racing, so they were winning all or most of the races. I don't know the numbers, please don't take my word. Now, to celebrate those years of winning, they came up with this model, which is called V-Spec. And if you don't know what V-Spec stands for, it's Victory Specification. So bigger brakes, bigger wheels. So I think the V-Spec one came in 235, the V-Spec 245 wheels. This one has the 245. It came with the pull type gearbox, the same as the 33. What else do I know about them? This is it. I don't know much about them. So, but what I know about the car, let me show you something. Look at that. I feel like this is something to do with the toll. Their toll. So it can go back. So it has this part here. And it has this one as well. Panasonic. Again, I feel like, let me turn this off. Yeah, I feel like that's something to do with the GPS, maybe the CD player. It came with, this is something I don't like, it came with turbo timer. Another one of those toll thing. Maybe it's not the toll thing, like the E-tag, whatever they are. And that's inside it. I used to cover the seat when I used to sit in the car to drive it around. And what else? Oh. Yes. Okay, so this is all the parts I purchased in the past to replace timing belts and other stuff. They're all original. So I'm gonna put this aside. And this is another option, and again I'm not sure if that's factory. It's got two big antennas here. So 1, 2, you can actually, here you go, change the direction for those. Anyway, so this is all I know about this car. Now, alright, so this is the weather strip that I'm going to replace on the car. This is the part number for both sides. This was made in April 2020, 2022, and this one is June 2022. So for both sides, so I'm going to replace those, and then I'm going to jump in the engine bay, and we're going to have a look at the engine bay and diagnose the problem. So stay tuned. Yeah, so this one isn't too bad. I can still see the little cracks here. Anyway, we're going to replace both sides. So I don't know what makes this one so expensive. Alright, so I've done the passenger side. I'm gonna jump on the other side as well and get that done too. Alright, that's done too here. Alright, so this side is done as well. Very, very nice. Alright, so now let's jump to the engine bay. We're gonna hear the engine. We go from there. All right. Okay, so usually when you started, the first 10 seconds, this is what I remember. It sounds okay, and then after 10 seconds, you can hear this ticking. Now I know the RB26, they've got solid lifters. I know they're usually ticking louder than usual, but this is not lifters ticking, so this is something else, which I'm gonna try to rev it up and show you guys what I mean. Okay, so I'm sure you can hear it now. Sometimes it's hard to hear it, and the car has a lack of power, insanely lack of power. So the oil is good, It doesn't overheat. What else? It starts normal. It shifts normal, it moves normal, but it doesn't have any power. So the last time, let me turn this off first and I'll explain to you. Yeah, and by the way, it doesn't smoke. It sounds okay from hearing it from this side. Now the ticking that I was telling you about, let me turn this off. Alright guys, so the car doesn't smoke, the coolant looks okay, the oil looks alright, it starts normal, but it's ticking. Now when you rev it higher, the ticking becomes more knocking than ticking. So this is when I parked it in and I never touched it. Now I must say as well that in 2016 when I removed the timing cover and the intake, I also removed those, sorry, for power coating. Now I also removed the cam covers and I inspected the cams, the lifters, which is barely, you can see them, but they were okay. I did start it while the cams were off. I did get oil here and there, but it looked normal, it sounded normal around the lifters, so that's no problem. Now before digging into the engine, I just wanted to go and inspect my pistons. I want to see if the pistons are okay, if I don't have anything cracked, or if my ring lands are alright. So I've got a camera, gonna put it through the cylinders, and then we're gonna go from there, and then I'm gonna literally start diagnosing everything till I can find the problems. Spark plug looked alright. They're just a bit oily, which is not okay. Anyway, alright, so I bought this long time ago. Now this is a camera that was actually purchased for something else, but I'm gonna try to see if I can get any picture of the combustion. So I'm gonna start with cylinder 1. Cylinder 1, the piston is up, I can't see anything. I'm gonna try cylinder 2. Alright, let me see. Alright, so it's good, it's got a light on it. That's better. That's not good. I can already see the problem. Well, let me wind the engine. I want to bring piston 1 and 3 down. Well, that's bad news. I can already see something which is not very good. Oh wow, this is not good. Not sure if you can see. There you go. Look at the cylinder wall. Oh, that look nasty. Oh no, that's not good. Four looks okay. I can't see 5 because the piston is up. And 6 looks okay as well. Alright, here you have it. Obviously, I would say the problem solved, and then now it's another problem, however you want to look at it. But yeah, so obviously cylinder 1, 2, 3, the cylinder wall has a scoring on it. This could be so many, I don't know, possibilities. It could be injector failing, I don't know, it could be a lot of things. I can't tell. But the next step will be I either get the engine off and rebuild it. The engine has to come off anyway, but I either get the engine rebuilt, obviously oversized piston, whatever it needs, Conrad. So it's a long process, or try to get my hands on a very low mileage engine. So I will see. I will let you guys know in the next episode. Now we'll see what's gonna happen, huh? Thank you again for watching, and have a good one. So looking at this engine here, it's RB26 out of an R34 V-spec, so it's done 60,000. It's got good compression through all the cylinders, so it's 180, 179 psi, 181. So there you go. So it's out of 34 V-spec. So I went and translated everything. So apparently this engine, it's in Nismo Amori, and the reason for selling this engine is they took the engine off and they replaced it with an N1, so they've got this engine sitting, and here you go. So it says N1. I'm trying to see how I can do the translation here, and I'll show you guys. I'm not too good with computers, but anyway, so and they're trying to sell this engine, so it's on 60,000. It's mentioned here. They replaced it with an N1, and they rated it as B, so A being brand new, E being the worst, so they rated it as B, which is good. And the other thing is the compression test has been done with Nismo stuff. So cylinder 1 to 6, 13 bar, 13 bar, 13.2, 13.3, 13.1, and 13.1. So 13 bar is 180 something psi, so it's really high. It's a good engine. The price is a bit high, but I have no other option. There are some other engines, but I don't have history about them. It just says they belong to R32 or R33. So let's see if we can bid on this. So it says buy it now. Okay, let's try again. It says me a couple of hundred, and then option E, which is for engines. Alright, and that's the price there.